Do you know, under our 13th Amendment, December 6th, 1865, slavery was completely abolished. But today, 148 years later, there is still slavery. And it's in a whole new way, a way you would never imagine. Human trafficking is growing as one of the fastest criminal industries. Human trafficking happens for the purpose of trading human beings, people with souls like you and me. And we can all be a victim. It doesn't matter whether you're a man, a woman, a child. It doesn't matter if you live outside of the US. It's happening next door. It's happening in places you would never even think of. I mean, what about you football fans? Have you ever thought when you enter the stadium that, it's one of the most anticipated events where human trafficking is just exploding, and that's in California. They're forced into this labor, hard labor. Did you know that human trafficking brings in about $32 billion every year? Out of that $32 billion, 15 million are coming from human trafficking right in the United States. Right here, right in California, right in Utah, right there in Arizona or Nevada. It doesn't matter where you live. Human traffickers are there, and it's important to look for the signs. The slavery that's occurring today are referred to as modern-day slaves. But what are we supposed to look for? I mean, how can you make a difference? How can I make a difference in stopping something that's just so sickening?
So put this number in your phone. You can put this in your phone as an easy first step. It's 888-373-7888. That's the National Human Trafficking Hotline. That's one thing you can do immediately. Second, Google anti-human trafficking agencies where you live. Go to their information workshops. Give yourself to events like protesting. Go write letters to your congressman. Do whatever you can to get involved. Just even sharing articles on Facebook. I do this at least once or twice a week, and I always have someone, reply to me like, I had no idea. Anything and everything you can do will help.
And what if it was your child, or your mother, or your brother? What would you do? How would you feel? And wouldn't you want to make a big difference? A lot of people go and they read these facts and they look at the story, but because it hasn't personally happened in their lives, they're not in tune to it being around them. FBI has 13 locations where human trafficking is the highest. Did you know that 3 of them are in California? We have Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. That is a freaking scary fact, because there's a lot of people that come in and out of California, a lot of people that live in California. Thousands will be human trafficked and tricked into a better life, or offered something more glamorous than what they're currently living, and they fall for this, and they go, and they end up stuck because these people are afraid to leave. Every year, there's an 80% increase at the Super Bowl for human trafficking. 80%, you guys. That's a big deal. That could be your child, your sister, your brother, your significant other. During the Super Bowl, these human traffickers are actually given a quota as to how many people they're trying to service. In Dallas, in 2011 at the Super Bowl, there were over 133 arrests for underage prostitution. This year, the Super Bowl is coming again, which means the problem is coming back. And the question is, what can I do to make a difference? Neighbor Film is about human trafficking. It's a film that will really touch your heart, that will show you the facts, and you'd be surprised how many people really don't know the signs of a human trafficker.
And do you know any like statistics of how many traffickers actually get arrested or prosecuted?
Not.
Yes, not a lot.
Yeah, probably not enough.
Yeah, less than 10%. And so one of the reasons why I'm making the film is because we want to bring awareness to that it is happening in suburbia, which is what you said earlier. What would you think about this question about this human trafficking happening where you live? How would you be able to know it was?
Honestly, I don't know that I would like notice it per se, but like if it were to like surface, like I don't know how I'd reconcile that. Just like I feel so like almost betrayed. Like I should have known, or like there's more should have been done. Right.
Well, thank you guys for your time. The film, it's called Neighbor. You can check it out. And after we shut the camera off, I'm going to give you the human trafficking hotline, which is a simple thing you can do. Just put this phone number in your phone. And if you ever see anything weird, you see a woman that looks like she is being drugged along by a guy, or an airport or a hotel especially, and you think, this person doesn't look like they've changed their clothes in a few days, or they're not being fed properly. It happens to both men and women. In my film, I will have some people share their stories of people being trafficked by their own family members. One boy trafficked by his own mother to pay rent in San Francisco. One girl kidnapped at a grocery store and sold on Craigslist for 8 days.
These human traffickers come and they offer these people glamorous lifestyles. They look for those that look almost lost, those that look like their self-esteem isn't where it should be. And personally, if you've seen my website, I believe in bringing out the best in everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you live. I don't care what lifestyle you're into. The fact is you're a human being and anything can happen. The facts are there. I don't know if you want to have kids. I don't know if you have a little sister or a little brother. But it's important to recognize these signs because it can happen to anybody. And it does happen. These modern day slaves feel like they have no way out because these human traffickers will tell them, you owe us debts for the plane tickets, you owe us this, you owe us that. Or, frankly, they'll beat them. And it's really sad. It's time to expose those people.
Well, after I read this book called Not for Sale, I started researching, on the internet, looking up any kind of story that I could find. And then I watched a documentary called Call and Response. And that, again, blew my mind that it was happening not only all over the world in third world developing countries, but it was happening in the city that I lived. And so I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to find out more. And since then, I've made some really cool connections. I'm realizing, human trafficking looks very different, has many different forms.